Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work. Triple play, yeah. Triple play, making it triple play.
This is Triple Play Fantasy Basketball Week 7 edition. I'm Coach James Lewis. On the other end, Doc Mendelson. What up? How's your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. You know, it was weird. No NBA games that Thursday. Had a full slate Friday. And hey, man, we're in the thick of the season. But how's your Thanksgiving?
The plate with full, multiple Thanksgivings. Got the Friendsgiving today, so I'm good enough for the winter. I don't think I need to eat any turkey for a while here. And King James is back. 39 points yesterday, 7 threes. Isn't it nice if you play like the Spurs every night? They got 3 wins against the Spurs in the last 2 weeks, and all of a sudden they're trending in the right direction.
That is crazy. And I thought about it this morning. Like, we got to be thankful for watching LeBron. Even for me, not the biggest LeBron fan, his body's like starting to break down on him a little bit. He's not by far the best player in the NBA anymore. But you just got to appreciate how long we have him, because he's going to go down as one of the most iconic guys in league history.
And it's hard to swallow that as a true LeBron James fan since day one, that his body is actually breaking down. I was kind of denying it for a couple of years, but it's undeniable now. But he's at any given night, he still has the ability to be the best player in the league. And for him at this age, no one's really done that. No one at this age has the capability on a given night to be the best guy in the league. So those of us that are unfamiliar with us here at Triple Play Fantasy, we are here for you, the fantasy basketball head, the fantasy basketball player. We talk strategy. We tell you who to pick up for the week. You have to be active in your waiver wire to win leagues. We argue back and forth on who to get. And also, we talk a little bit about schedules, because it's important to know the schedules on the upcoming week and knowing to get the maximum games played and who to kind of shy away for the week. So we start with our games played, and Miami only has 2. So and I know they've been dealing with injuries recently, but players like Caleb Martin might be a drop candidate just for this week, since you won't get many games out of him. The rest of the league, they play that standard 3 or 4 games. 12 teams play 3, and 17 play 4. Our pickup candidates this week, a little bit higher rostered number-wise than we have like in the last week. But Bruce Brown, if he's there, he is a guaranteed spot player on a 12-team and really 10-team leagues. And you really wouldn't have thought that going into the season. You wouldn't know his role, but he is a assist machine. Shake Milton has really took the bull by the horns over there in Philly, and him and D'Anthony Melton are playing lights out, especially fantasy number-wise. Mo Bamba for Orlando's finally getting an opportunity to play some games with Wendell Carter out. Deni Advija is playing the best basketball of his career for Washington.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. I'm a Deni guy. Doc clearly is not. Thad Young, I mean, well, obviously you would want a Halliburton over him, but, you know, he is who we have. Thad Young's getting some playing time with Barnes and Siakam out. And then Derrick White, who we told you to drop, is now playing good. It's funny how that happens from time to time. So we're going to talk about Bruce Brown on the season. So this is a good sample size. 11 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 49%, giving you over a 3, and then 1.5 stocks a game. Most recently against OKC, 17 13 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 steals, a triple-double, 4 steals. Like, that's a wower. What's your feelings on Bruce Brown, the basketball player and the fantasy basketball player?
You know, you and I were talking before we went live, and he just fits in well with the team. I mean, when you look at the triple-double, 17 points, he had 3 threes that game. He also had 4 steals. And what I think makes him really valuable is Jamal Murray hasn't been as healthy as we'd like coming off the torn ACL. He's missed 3 of his last 5 games. And even when he has been playing, he shot 9 of 21 last game, which was good. But before that, 3 of 12, 7 of 20, 9 of 18. So, I mean, not only are these percentages fluctuating, but he's been shooting the ball a lot. And I think Bruce Brown does more to kind of help make the rest of the team better than Jamal Murray, at least so far this season.
Yeah, and I have to agree on that. And Bruce Brown, he doesn't get really credit for his athleticism, but he is very rock solid. He moves very well. He's a good screen setter. He's good at cutting backdoor. He passes well. He fits the brain of Nikola Jokic. So this is a great pickup for Denver. I think that the moves that they made were a little questionable to some people, but I think with him, with KCP, you have a finishing lineup that's going to really bode well come playoff time.
He's 6'4" with a 6'9" wingspan too. That's great for if he has to switch playing guards. Like I mean, you can't see it maybe in that photo, but he got a good wingspan there.
Yeah, and you got to love that in the NBA. Shake Milton last week. Holy moly, this guy is going crazy. He's a triple-double machine. 21 points, 7 boards, 8 dimes, shooting 54% from the field on 14 shots, 2.3 threes. He has been shooting 40% on the season. Last year was shaky for Shake Milton, but Mike Benjamin Milton, as they call him at home. But he's been playing high. He's been having a really solid year here. What's your take on Shake?
Yeah, so take the graphic away because you said he was shaky last year. I'm shaking my fist being that old man that said, I told you to pick him up last week. Now, I'll admit, I did not expect what was going to happen. Last night, putting up 24 points, 9 rebounds, 10 assists. Before that, 22, 7, and 9. I mean, he is flirting with these triple-double numbers, but you just had to figure the usage was going to go up. And It's crazy because Tobias Harris is on that max contract, but it's been Shake Milton and D'Anthony Melton that have really just kind of been taking storm for Philly. And that's how it's going to be with at least the next 2-3 weeks with Maxey and Harden out. And even when they do come back, I'm sure they're going to integrate them slowly. They're not going to risk, kind of pushing them too fast, too soon. So I don't even think it's a short-term ad. This could be someone that helps you, for a good portion of the season.
And I think it's cool also for Philly fans that they are playing well together. Because when you kind of think about their roster and the makeup going into the season, you think about either or playing on the court. But the fact that they play well together and they have a certain balance offensively and defensively, because we know what Melton is doing. He's got like 12 steals in like the last 4 games. It's insane.
And when you look at Shake's stats too, like before him being that starter, he wasn't shooting threes. And now he's attempting probably 4 a game. He's been hitting a good percentage. I feel like now he can play a little bit more freely now that he's not just having limited minutes here and there.
Speaking of someone that doesn't have limited minutes recently, Mo Bamba is 55% rostered. And in the last 2 weeks, 13 points, 7 boards, almost 2 dimes, almost 2 threes, giving you a block and a half a swipe. Last game, in the past couple games, actually, Paolo Montero back. He's starting. He's starting with Bol and Wagner and Suggs, and they're a fun little watch. And the fact that he's actually playing some basketball, Wendell Carter Jr. out, is appealing to fantasy owners that had him rostered last year, and we're looking for another year.
So I'm glad Mo Bamba's getting a little bit more recognition. A lot of people just know him from that song. The one thing I would like to see with Mo Bamba more, like obviously he's a big man, 7 foot that can stretch the floor. He's hitting threes, which you like for someone that's center eligible. I wish he was grabbing more boards consistently. Like we saw that upside, 10 in back-to-back games, 9, but sandwich that with 4. Like, dude, you're 7 foot. You got to be getting more than those 4 rebounds a game, especially if you're flirting with 30 minutes and you're getting 4 rebounds. Like that's bad.
Yeah, and then his teammates aren't like dominators of the basketball when rebounding. Like the opportunity is there to grab them. But I will say he is just a stream until Wendell Carter Jr. comes back. I see his minutes taking a dip once he does come back. Deni Advija is the best defender on the Washington Wizards, and he's been dropping dimes as of late and filling up the stat sheet, getting blocks, grabbing rebounds, double-digit rebounds, in fact. He had a game where he had 13 boards against Charlotte. He against Memphis, his best game, he had 21 points. He hit 4 threes. He missed a free throw at the end of the game that would have gave him his career high in points a game, and he knew it when he missed it. But against Miami, back-to-back in the last 2 games, 2 L's, unfortunately, for Washington. He had 12 points, 9 boards, 10 assists, had 3 stocks. He also had 3 stocks in yesterday's game with 8 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists, and he's playing heavy minutes.
So when you look at that graphic there, he just looks uncomfortable dribbling a basketball. It looks like they're teaching you in elementary school.
He got a little awkward look. He got a little awkward.
It's got an awkward look. Like I got to retract a little bit because I was a big Deni hater. I was not aware of the rebounds and assist numbers, but I mean, he's going to kill you in a lot of categories. He's shooting 29.4% from 3, 40% from the field, and the last couple weeks it's been pretty bad. I mean, he's given you some stocks, 1.4, so I can't hate on that. 2.4 over the last 2 weeks, but I mean,
better than Rui. He's better than Rui Hachimura.
Okay, but I do think the Wizards have ruined Rui a little bit. Like Advija, I guess we're at this point in the season where we're saying to stream Deni Advija. It's not a bad stream, but it's just like, are we really there in fantasy basketball? We're telling you to stream Deni Advija. We are.
Yes, we are. Dude, look at those assists and you don't like. I know he's awkward dribbling the basketball, but those are productive category numbers here, sir.
I mean, look, yeah, the last 2 weeks, he is definitely someone that you should be adding. But just all right, my thing was
it's not going to last the long like the
against the Thunder. He gets he gets a go ahead layup with like a minute left, flexes on the floor like this. Then realizes they have a fast break layup, and the Wizards ultimately lose that game by 1. And it's like, Deni Advija, how good do you think you are that you can just take a possession off and flex? You didn't hit the game winner. Like, you're not at that level yet. That's my little rant.
All right. So we'll move on. Kuz is balling out. Thaddeus Young for Toronto. We've talked about Barnes and Siakam out in the last 2 weeks. 10 points, 7 boards, 4 assists, and 2 steals. He's been a lot of swipes as of late, and he's definitely someone to roster while these gentlemen are out. I mean, he's starting with Vancho Hernan-Gomez, and he's getting heavy minutes because Toronto is just that depleted, and they're keeping Boucher off the bench. But with the minutes and him filling up categories in the categories league, he should be an ad at a power forward center eligible.
Yeah. 8 steals the last 3 games. I mean, Coach, he's someone that I would try and sell high on. Like, you know, obviously everybody plays in a different league. He's been around for a while, so maybe that name recognition. But Siakam's going to come.
Nobody's biting to try to trade for him, but like.
But here's the thing: I would use him as a sweetener. I wouldn't have him be like a main piece you're dealing for, but have him as a sweetener right now because you're right. He's definitely he should be rostered in categories leagues. And when Siakam comes back, like that's really going to ding his value.
There's a rant coming soon.
No,
sweetener. Doc, the king of 2-for-1 trades. No, it's the same production. No,
3
actually,
for 2.
Yeah, 3 for 2, 2 for 1. You need to watch that, people. Especially, there's going to be a lot of people trying to trade with you. It's never the best move. You always grab the best player. Now, if you want to throw in your 2 for 1 and get the better player of the 2. Good for you. You found a fool in your league, but don't
if I'm in 8th or 9th place in a 10-team league and my roster's falling apart, yeah, you got to get rid of like Anthony Davis. If I was in 9th or 10th place, I would sell high on him and get a 2 for 1.
What 2 players?
I would want someone like a SGA caliber.
Oh my God, no one's doing that. SGI caliber. He's like a top 5 fantasy player this year.
Okay.
I'm thinking, okay, so what if somebody offered you Nurkic and like, I don't know, Gary Trent Jr.?
Oh, absolutely not. But if they're offering me like a Trae Young and Nurkic,
but those guys are first round, second round guys. Like,
but Anthony Davis is the best player in the deal.
All right, We'll move on. Don't just press decline if Doc sends you a trade offer. It's never good for your team. Derrick White, we told you to drop him, and then he started playing really well. 15 points. He's shooting better now, and when he shoots well, he's definitely a must-own because he'll get you some rebounds and assists. 56% over the last 2 weeks, and hitting almost 3 threes. So, and we saw that in the playoffs when he shot well, he played well. When he didn't, it was it was a real up and down performances. But our last couple games, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 3 steals, 3 threes. That's serviceable against Sacramento, and then against OKC, which a lot of people have really good games, as I've been noticing. And he had 18 points, 3 boards, 4 assists, and 4 threes. Pickup candidates. Austin Reaves, perhaps. He's starting, and then last game he goes moved to the bench, but he's been getting consistent minutes. Immanuel Quickley has had back-to-back 18-point games. In the last 2 weeks, Austin Reaves, shooting guard, small forward eligible, nearly 15 points, 3 boards, 3 assists, 62% from the field. He is a high-efficiency shooter. I will give him that. 1.5 threes, not your greatest volume three-point shooter, but he is one of the better glue pieces to the Lakers this season, and he can kind of fit in with any lineup. 16 points against Detroit, against the Spurs last week, 21. What you like about Austin Reaves?
I mean, I think he's a better real life player than fantasy, and I think he's what the Lakers need. But like you talk about, he scored 16 points yesterday, but he shot 6 of 7. And he's giving you 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. Like he will give you randomly good rebound games. If you add him, it's going to be for points leagues. Like 21 points, 7 out of 11 shooting. Like the fact that he's going to regress shooting. He can't shoot over 50% every game like he's been doing.
I think he's like 49 on the
season. Also keep in mind when Anthony Davis comes back, like they missed LeBron the past 5 games before the back-to-back for San Antonio. Anthony Davis been out. Like he's been a beneficiary of them not having a complete lineup.
And watch out for Thomas Bryant in deep leagues. It's not playing back-to-backs, but just yesterday he had, I think, 13 points and 8 boards. Quickley, back-to-back 18-point performance games. Tibbs is known to take him completely out of the lineup, but he's available everywhere. He doesn't shoot great percentages, but he gets you some rebounds, some assists, and he's hit 8 threes in the last 2 games. So he's definitely shooting the ball pretty well. Recently, safe candidates, DFS is like he should be the poster child of a safe candidate because he's always giving you 35 minutes a game.
You know what my favorite song by Lizzo is? It's about damn time. About damn time we talk about DFS on this show, Coach.
What do you like about you? But Deni Advija gets trashed, but this guy's averaging 9 points and 4 boards on the season. We're going crazy.
All right, so Josh Lloyd's popular on nicknames. If you have kids playing this, maybe mute this part. I call him the condom. He's a safe player. He's a safe candidate. Averaging 33 minutes per game. I believe that's second or third on the Mavs behind Luka and maybe Dinwiddie. He's giving you a little bit of everything. 16 points last game, 3 threes, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, or 2 assists, 2 steals, a block. Like he's one of those guys that can give you, I'm not going to say he's like a stud 5x5, but he can give you 2 blocks any given night, 2 steals any given day, maybe hits you a couple threes, and the playing time is there, and that's what you love.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with talking to kids about condoms and being safe and protecting themselves. I mean, it's a good public service announcement, a DSF, you may say. Watch candidates, Dennis Schroder, he's back. And against San Antonio yesterday at 21 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, and 3 3-pointers made. And he had one of his better statistical seasons with the Lakers after not accepting the $80 million extension. So he has a lot to prove here, but he's known to be a decent fit alongside LeBron James. And
Coach, are you worried that when Pat Bev comes back from the suspension that he's going to suffer?
I don't know what to make of all of the point guards for Los Angeles. It's just a terrible makeup as far as trying to get all of those guys and trying to play winning basketball and defend when you got Kendrick. You got everybody that plays the same position. It just makes no sense. So, yeah, I'm worried, but he's only 50% rostered, so somebody to watch. But I did see some people going out of their way to pick him up thinking that he's going to be an immediate impact guy, and I think he'll have up and down performances, especially with the minutes per game that you kind of mentioned. Taking a look ahead, next week, Tuesday and Thursday, I like to see the days that not many games are being played and what teams play in those matchups. On Tuesday and on Thursday, both the Mavericks and the Pistons play. So the days of Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where you're stacked up in your lineups and you may have people on the bench, these guys are getting extra games in. And for the Mavs, you think about DFS that we just mentioned. For the Pistons, you think about a Marvin Bagley who's giving you points and rebounds with Isaiah Stewart out. Yes, Jalen Duren is still riding the pine, but those guys are two guys that you could think about picking up this week.
I kind of like Kevin Knox too. Like, are we kicking the tires on Kevin Knox at 23 years old?
It's interesting. It's the Pistons have been doing this the past several years. It was Josh Jackson, like former like lottery guys or former like high picks where they've gotten opportunity out of nowhere. I know Detroit is just an awful basketball team without Cade Cunningham. And hey, you know, I'm good for him. A little resurgence. I don't think it's sustainable. I still don't think he's a good basketball player.
I mean, he's 4 consecutive games with 20 plus minutes, gave you 11, 17, 21 points, 3 of those. I feel like, what do they have to lose? Like, he's 23 years old. This season's kind of a wash for them. Like, give him the playing time and see if he can, you know, bring back kind of that potential spark that, you know, made him a lottery pick.
I think the more intriguing player as far as that's concerned is Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
If he could ever figure out how to score the basketball
in like a bunch of leagues though.
Yeah, but like what's the percentage? Maybe like 30. I mean, I'd have to double check here, but he's still widely available in leagues. Yeah, 39% rostered. So he's still out there.
Is that Yahoo?
Yeah, Yahoo. That's all our percentages here, Yahoo, because ESPN has a weird low number.
Yeah, I was going to say ESPN app won't even load right now, so I can't give you that weird fluctuation.
Weekend streamers, players that play back-to-back on Saturday and Sunday, so at the end of the week, maybe getting in an extra game, the Knicks, the Blazers, and the Kings. We talked about Quickley. Hartenstein's been talked about. Sims. People maybe you could stream for rebounds, blocks.
Quentin Grimes been looking good too.
And Quentin Grimes has been up and down performances, but he's definitely somebody that I would throw on my watch list. Malik Monk, if he's still available for the Kings, is definitely a solid pickup there. Sunday, Monday, guys. Celtics, Pacers, Grizzlies, and Suns. You know, Doc's favorite, TJ McConnell, has been playing good basketball. He's getting dimes, and of course, he's good for some swipes. Isaiah Jackson is good for a block a game, and that's about it. But sometimes it's about getting that last block to win your category league. Celtics, Grizzlies, John Conchar until Desmond Bane is out. We told you last week to get him. He's still out there. And then campaign, of course, is.
Hey, shout out Torrey Craig too.
Yeah,
Torrey Craig been a rebounding machine. 8 blocks his last 4 games. Like, Torrey Craig is a nice little glue guy.
If you won your league for the week, you played a bum opponent, and you're just thinking, hey, I got to use my pickups for the previous week. The Heat, who only had 2 games, maybe that's your time to go pick up Caleb Martin because he does play on Monday and Tuesday. It might be the time to pick up Kleba. He's back. And you know that he plays minutes when he's out there. Unfortunately, they're starting Powell over Christian Wood. I feel like that needs to be a change, but seems like Jason Kidd just can't trust him defensively at this moment. Hopefully that changes for Christian Wood owners like myself, who he started off pretty well, but he's only giving you, I think, 16 points and like 9 boards. So not quite what you really wanted when you drafted him. And you can't move him, really. Nobody really wants to trade for him like that.
Yeah, I read rumors that they might put him in the starting lineup and like that have a spark. Like,
do it.
I don't know if you play any dynasty leagues, but like that would have been a perfect sell high last season with the Rockets.
Yeah. Well, you didn't know where he was going to land. You know, you never know where it would have been. It could have been beneficial. But
that's true.
There he is. All right. On the way out, we want to thank our guys at Fantasy Points.
We know we talk a lot of fantasy basketball in here, but if you look at any fantasy football stuff, they got you really covered, especially now that playoffs are coming if you're looking to win your leagues. And you can use code TriplePlay22 and get 10% off. So if you do multiple sports like we do here at Triple Play Fantasy, they got you covered. And they're going to have basketball stuff.
All right, good luck week 7. We'll see you next week. Until next time, I'm Doc. For Doc. I'm Coach James Lewis. I'm losing it. Too much turkey over here. See ya.
Lately I've been feeling things change. We've been working hard, no sleep, get it every day. And I swear that we ain't stopping till we pay. Yeah, the pressure on, gotta make it work, triple play, yeah.